Hey guys, welcome back to Vina Wonders. So today I'm going to be doing the very rare book review. The truth is I sort of stopped doing book reviews because they didn't get as many views. That's sort of like not a very popular thing to say, I guess, especially on YouTube, where somehow YouTube assumes this content just sort of magically pops up and makes them revenue. And I'm trying not to be like that super angry, irrational person about the whole YouTube demonetizing small YouTubers thing, but I really don't know how. And I think the thing that YouTube forgets is that it literally made a fortune on people uploading videos on the internet, and that the people who uploaded those first videos didn't go into it thinking that they would make money. And so the big thing for me that really fucking grates on my nerves, especially as someone who is on YouTube for lack of like any other better medium to sort of talk about books on, it's just like, how fucking dare you? So anyway, I don't want to talk about that too much just because I think a lot of people have done much more coherent videos, and also I'm still angry, so I feel like I might say something stupid. But I want to say that from here on in, I'm going to be including 2 booktuber shoutouts at the end of every video. So yeah, I just thought it would be sort of a good long-term solution because I wasn't free to film anything during the whole small booktuber Sunday thing that happened a couple of days ago. Anyway, on to the review. Today I'm going to be talking about The Sympathizer by Viet Thanh Nguyen. It is the winner of the Pulitzer Prize for 2016. It's the story of a guy who was a sympathizer during the Vietnamese War. For those of you guys who may not be familiar with sort of the things that happened during the Vietnamese War, basically it was a war in which the US intervened, and the war was, as always, between the left and the right. This book is told from the point of view of a guy who was sort of a double agent for both sides and who was educated in the US to better infiltrate the right, and his allegiance was mostly to the left. Given what it's about, I feel like this book, from an outsider's perspective, you would expect it to be extremely heavy and sort of heavy-handed as well when it comes to the facts and when it comes to sort of bombarding you with information. But now I 100% see why this book won the Pulitzer. Number one, it's extremely well written, and by extremely well written, I don't just mean intelligent, or I don't just mean witty, although it is those things. I mean it is super duper engaging. I mean the way that the story is told really pulls you in and refuses to let you go. The narrator is extremely endearing, but also not to the point where you aren't made aware of the questionable choices that he's making. I think the psychic distance is done so well in this book because even if you're there with him, you sort of see the bullet coming an instant before he does, and I feel like that is just such a great way to grip someone emotionally. Number two, the characterization of everyone else in this is incredible. So if you guys don't know much about this book, it sort of takes the form of a confession where he's talking about his entire experience as a double agent, and the way that he talks about his friends and the way that he talks about people on both sides is so freaking incredible. And something that I love about this is that it does irony in such a subtle way. He was a double agent, but his allegiance was to the left. However, most of the people that he talks about in this are the people he was supposedly betraying. One of the most beautiful things about this book, I think, is how it tackles exactly how deceitful a construct loyalty can be and how deceptive, because most of the time the things that we are extremely loyal to are also things that we don't quite know, that we don't quite understand, and people who we are bound to more out of emotion than rational thought. All of the memories shared by the main characters are just so well fleshed out in this way that is at once nostalgic and also not too sentimental, and I really enjoyed that. Another awesome thing about this book is the humor with which it's written. There are parts in this that reference Apocalypse Now, which is a film by Francis Ford Coppola, and it is set in the Vietnamese War. But the funny thing about that movie is that it was actually shot in the Philippines because obviously they couldn't go to Vietnam at the time, and it just provides such a good commentary on Philippine history and politics as well. And I'm a sucker for that. You guys know that because no one ever talks about us. Thank you, Viet Thanh Nguyen. I found the stuff that he had to say about the Philippines really insightful, and just that part was really, really hilarious. I don't want to give it away, but it's just so funny the way that white people treat Asian people in this, I think, is on point. Basically, all my jobs since I've gotten out of college, I have been employed by companies owned by white people, and it's just so hilarious how true the stuff in this still stands. This is just such a good book. It's a book that, yes, is about war and is about these different political movements, but it's also a book that is very much about identity and friendship and family, and I think it's one of the best books that I've ever read, and I'm kind of sad that I haven't seen more reviews about this. I haven't seen it talked about at all actually on BookTube. If you ever get the chance to pick this up, I 100% would recommend, and I think it's a very important book. So that's it for the review. Now I'm going to do 2 shout outs. The first person I want to shout out in this video is Michael from Michael Reads. Michael is amazing. He reads so many books. I think he's one of the most underrated people on YouTube. He is Filipino by descent, but he grew up and currently lives in Georgia, and he's just such an awesome guy. The selection of books that he reads as well, so amazing. And I haven't read a book yet that Michael has recommended which I haven't liked, so you guys should definitely go and check him out. I think he has some of the most unique content on BookTube. I also want to give a shout out to Deboki from Okie Dokie Boki. She is one of my favorite people on YouTube. I just love the way that she talks about things. She is also a scientist, by the way, and she's working on T cells to help cure cancer, so I don't know if you can get like any more freaking badass than that. But whatever it is that she talks about, if it's books, if it's science, if it's a movie, a series, a K-drama, whatever, she just makes every conversation feel both substantial and friendly, if that makes any sense. She's just one of those people that I feel like I could listen to talk forever, and if you don't follow her, then you are definitely missing out. That's it for today's video, and I hope that you guys enjoyed it. I hope if you end up picking up the Sympathizer, you guys really like it, and I'd love to know what you guys think if you have read this book before. Don't forget to like this video if you liked it, and subscribe if you haven't already. And that's it for this video. Thank you guys for watching. I'll see you next time. Bye!